Now, some of you may have some problems with till and for, but actually they're not that difficult. So let's look at some examples and create some clarity. Start with this one, till. So it says direction and recipients. It could be you're going somewhere or someone is giving something to you. Let's see. Vi flyttede til Antarktis. Vi flyttede til Antarktis. So you moved to a place. Right? Say it about Denmark. Vi flyttede til Danmark. Vi flyttede til Spanien. Vi flyttede til USA. Could be anywhere. That's a long distance, but it's also a short distance. Fra A til B. From A to B. So that is the number one that you must remember. Till is like to, from one point to another. Then you have, der er kommet en pakke til dig. Der er kommet en pakke til dig. Now, so this is one where some learners might feel a little bit challenged because you see the English translation says for you, a package has arrived for you. But that's because in Danish we see it as something dedicated to someone is that. It might sound simple, but der er kommet en pakke til dig. I could also say, jeg har noget til dig. I have something for you. Har du noget til mig? Do you have something for me? Because it's from one person to another. Think about that transfer. That's what it's about. Forget about the English for someone. It doesn't matter here. It's from one person to another. Therefore, it's til. Okay? Now, then you could say, men den kunne jeg ikke give til et dyr. Den kunne jeg ikke give til et dyr. Again, so in this case, it's to an animal. He had something he wanted to give, but he couldn't give it to an animal. Again, it's that giving thing. Giv til et dyr. That is, of course, til. So, it makes a lot of sense. And I know some of you might be a little bit impatient, but just wait and see. It'll slowly come together. Now in the second one is still till. That is purpose and function, right? So like what are you using or needing something for? So you could say, jeg ved ikke, hvad hun skal bruge et viskelæder til. Jeg ved ikke, hvad hun skal bruge et viskelæder til. So in this case, when you are talking about something that you need for a purpose like utility, practical function, then you say til. Til. Hvad bruger du den til? Jeg skal bruge den til something. It's a tool. Bruge noget til. This one is important because many of you will feel tempted to say for, but that is wrong. Okay? It is til, because it's purpose. Okay? De her broer er gode til rigtig mange ting. Til rigtig mange formål. De her broer er gode til rigtig mange formål. Again, many different purposes. Gode til. They serve purposes. De er gode til rigtig mange formål. It's not that hard. Mit hjerte var ikke parat til den slags endnu. Mit hjerte var ikke parat til den slags endnu. So when you're saying you are ready for something, it's parat til or klar til. You can also say that. Jeg er klar, I am ready, jeg er parat. Either one. Ikke parat til. Nej. Mit hjerte var ikke parat til den slags endnu. Alright. Now in the third one we get into necessity, and this is where it gets tricky for some learners because there's another one with need where it's for, but this one is the necessity, nød til or nødt til. Jeg var nødt til at sige op. Jeg var nødt til at sige op. So here I had to quit. It's not that you had a need, not an emotional need, but more like the situation forced you to do it. It was necessary. Jeg var nødt til. Nødt til at. And now we're talking about till and for today, but I also want to mention that some of you might get confused because you learn that till is like to, and then you also see at, like at sige up, to quit. And then you're like, oh, so do I remove the at? Do I remove the till? How do I do it? Well, here's the thing. There's always going to be an at, okay? Before infinitive, you're going to have an at. That's just how it is, all right? So sometimes you have til before, and I made another video about all the uses of til, right? But don't ever wonder if there's going to be an at, because there always will. Okay. Okay, so down here a little bit more of that nødt til. Ikke? So de er nødt til at prøve den. De er nødt til at prøve den. Ikke? They have to try it. Ikke? The situation requires them to try it, whatever that thing is. Ikke? Nødt til at prøve den. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, so number 4, we got some of this for. We have brug for. Ikke? Brug for. You need something. Vi har alt, hvad vi har brug for her. Vi har alt, hvad vi har brug for her. So what is the difference between brug for and nødt til? Well, let's move this down and you can see them together. Okay. So nødt til is about the thing you need to do, where brug for is typically like something you need to have. Right? It could also be a person. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. Alright? Now sometimes brug for can be about an action, but it's different. So you could say, vi har alt, hvad vi har brug for her. Ikke? You couldn't say, vi har alt, hvad vi er nødt til her. Like that makes zero sense. Ikke? Hvad vi har brug for is like what we need. Need to feel good, need to feel happy, to feel whatever. Like something in your life. Hvad vi har brug for. Ikke? Og jeg havde brug for noget forandring. Jeg havde brug for noget forandring. I needed some change. Like that was something you had a need for. Again, I repeat. Nødt til is for the action, and brug for is for the thing you need. Alright, so they are different. And some learners get them mixed up. Like, brug til er nødt for. It's the other way around. Right? Then we have this one. It's, I call it abilities and skills. So god til at. And this kind of links back to what I was talking about before, with some people getting confused. Like, til and at and what's what? It's like, if you're good at something, you would say god til at. Right? Er du god til at holde på hemmeligheder? Er du god til at holde på hemmeligheder? So is this, are you good at keeping secrets? Is that good at something? Sometimes when you're learning a language, you need to remember that it's not word by word. It's not like, okay, so in English is I am good at. So you need to have the same amount or same number of words in Danish for a perfect translation. No, it doesn't work that way. I know it's obvious, but still, as a learner, I understand you might walk into that trap sometimes. Try not to. Right? So, er du god til at holde på hemmeligheder? Ikke? God til is connected with this. Ikke? Er du god til? Hvad er du god til? What are you good at? Jeg er god til at. Ikke? The at goes with the verb. Okay? It's important to know where the split is. Okay, another one. Jeg er god til mit job. Jeg er god til mit job. So what you see with this one is there's no at. Why? Because there's no verb, right? So he's not doing anything. He's good at his job, but there's no action. So that's that. Jeg er god til mit job. Now then, det var lidt svært i starten, men jeg blev langsomt bedre til det. Det var lidt svært i starten, men jeg blev langsomt bedre til det. So it's pretty much the same point, only that it's bedre. So it's like better. It evolves. You could also say dårlig til. I'm bad at it. Eller jeg er elendig til det. I suck at it. So it's just a matter of skill or talent. Okay, so it's coming together. Okay, now you might be missing some for, right? So here we have something important. Benefits, sake, and emotion. So you could say, universitetet er her for dig. Universitetet er her for dig. Now this one might be a little bit cheesy, right? Like advertising, but the point is they are here for your benefit. Same as in English, right? I don't need to explain so much. They are here to do something for you or to make your life easier. Okay, so simple enough. Kom her for din egen skyld, ikke for vores. Kom her for din egen skyld, ikke for vores. So for din egen skyld is for your own sake. For min skyld, for my sake, for din skyld, for your sake, and so on. Right? Kom her for din egen skyld. It's like that. So that one is pretty similar to English. Dette var et nederlag for mig. Dette var et nederlag for mig. So this was a defeat for me. And I can imagine this is where, I know in English, right, sometimes you can kind of interchange, or you can replace like for with like to me. It was a big deal to me, like special experience to me. But in Danish, we don't do that, okay? We don't say til mig. Like something that's a personal experience, like the way we experienced or felt something. We don't say til mig, okay? I will repeat, we don't say til mig when it's just an experience. Right? That's not a thing. We will say for mig. Ikke? Dette var et nederlag for mig. Defeat for me. Yeah, or to me, however you want to say in English. The point is in Danish, when it's personal experience, is always for. Okay. Tit poserede de for mig. Tit poserede de for mig. And so again, they're posing for me. And like for my benefit. For my. It's the same as in English, so it's not that hard. Det er ikke godt for mine nerver. Det er ikke godt for mine nerver. So this one is pretty similar to the English one, right? Like it's not good for, in this case, nerves. Ikke? Det er ikke godt for mine nerver. I don't have to explain so much with this particular one. Ikke? Yeah. Okay. And then this one could be a little bit counterintuitive to some of you, but it's important. Men jeg er bange for, at jeg snart løber tør. Men jeg er bange for, at jeg snart løber tør. And so, bange for is afraid that. Ikke afraid of. It doesn't really matter which one is the same to us. And jeg er bange for. Don't say jeg er bange af. I'm afraid of. Jeg er bange af. Like AF. No, don't do that. Jeg er bange for. Hvad er du bange for? What are you afraid of? Or scared of? We don't care. Jeg er bange for something. Okay, this is one where I would say a lot of learners, like some of my students, they make a lot of mistakes with this one, and it's because you see the translation between Danish and English doesn't match. So, purpose and intention for at. Right? Like in order to do something, in order for something else to happen, we have to do this other thing, or we do this other thing. Så for at finde svaret, må vi skrue tiden et par uger tilbage. For at finde svaret, må vi skrue tiden et par uger tilbage. So the thing is, there's a goal. We have to find the answer. So in order to do that, we have to, in this case, turn back time. And the reason why this is hard is because you as a learner, you think, okay, to is til, so you're going to say til at finde svaret. But it's not til at finde svaret, it's for at. Right? Like in order to. Yeah. Don't get confused just because you say, to find, so til. No. It's for. I repeat, it's for. Yeah. Simple enough, but it is opposite of what you might be expecting. Same point here. Vi vil gøre alt, hvad vi kan, for at de kan få en god start. Vi vil gøre alt, hvad vi kan, for at de kan få en god start. So that's the same thing. Right? Now here we just have it in the second part, but it doesn't change anything grammatically. Vi vil gøre alt, hvad vi kan, for at de kan få en god start. Right? In order so that they have or get a good start. Right? For at. Not til at, but for at. Okay. So down here, number 8, we have something. We have fixed expressions. Now, of course, there are many more. But if I covered everything, it would take like 2 hours. So I pick some. Du kan betale os i den valuta, du har lyst til. Du kan betale os i den valuta, du har lyst til. So this is the good old classic har lyst til. I feel like doing, want to do. Jeg har lyst til, og jeg har lyst til at. I feel like doing something. Lyst til. Yeah. Maybe I should write something extra here just to make it clearer. Jeg har lyst til at... What could it be? Til at hoppe. Right? Jeg har lyst til at hoppe. I feel like jumping. Yeah, or hopping around. Lyst til at. Always gotta have the at. Jeg har lyst til at something. Vi trængte til forandring. Vi trængte til forandring. We needed change, we needed a change. Right? Trængte til forandring. Very nice. It's similar to har brug for, but I would say that trænger til sort of emphasizes the fact that you were lacking it. Right? Where har brug for, you could just say about anything that you need, anything in life. But trænge til or trænger til in the present tense, trængte in the past, is generally when something is really lacking. So there is a bit of a difference. Trængte til. Right? Trængte til. And then, det sagde hun til mig for en time siden. Det sagde hun til mig for en time siden. Like, so she said that to me an hour ago. Here we have both til and for. Now why is that? It's because hun sagde det til mig. Like she said it to me. Fra A til B. From A to B. Hvad sagde du til mig? What did you say to me? Right? Til mig. And why is that for? Because when something is any amount of time ago, we say for unit of time, amount of time, siden, for en time siden, for en dag siden, for et år siden, and so on. Alright, so that's your standard. Always for la siden. Again, many learners, like in my private lessons, I hear this, they say siden, but they almost always forget the for. You gotta have the for. Like for, in this case, en time siden. Very important. Okay, so down here, number 9, we have some, let's see, it's a bit longer. Gør noget godt for dig selv og flyt til Antarktis. Gør noget godt for dig selv og flyt til Antarktis. So actually this is 2 in 1, right? So do something good for yourself, right? That's the same as in English, like for dig selv, for yourself. Not that difficult. Flyt til Antarktis. So it's 2 statements, or it's like encouraging them to do 2 different things. And I think when you are becoming a little more advanced, or at least when you're sort of entering the intermediate stages, you want to remember that even though there might be a lot of words in front of you, you still have to keep them separated, right? Like if you start to kind of mess everything together, that's when it gets hard. Yeah. Okay, you could say, for mig er det blevet til en naturlig del af livet. For mig er det blevet til en naturlig del af livet. Okay. So for mig, again, personal experience, same as in English, pretty straightforward. For mig, right? Er det blevet til, and this is because at blive til is to become. Right? Now some people might say it without til, but you will see it with til sometimes. Er det blevet til en naturlig del af livet. Right? Blive til. This is also something that you will see with other things, like if somebody somehow transforms into something else. Ikke blive til. Yeah, so pay attention, especially if you're in Denmark. Like when you're out and about, you know, you're seeing stuff, see when they use this constellation. Alright. En gammel mand, som faktisk havde betalt for min rejse. En gammel mand, som faktisk havde betalt for min rejse. So again, old man who actually paid for my trip. Or who had actually paid for my trip. So again, it's like he did it for. Right? Yeah. Yeah, we just cut this part. That's not relevant. Right? So similar to something in English. We do use a lot of for in Danish when it's like for someone's benefit, but we don't use it when we give them something. Like, let's say I pay for your ticket, your trip or something, and jeg har betalt for dig. Okay, that works. But I wouldn't say, jeg har en billet for dig. En billet is, of course, ticket. I wouldn't say, jeg har en billet for dig. That would be strange. And I would say, jeg har en billet til dig. Because it's like a gift. Alright? So, yeah, that's important. Alright? Now, this one is really long, but don't be scared. You can still manage. For os handler det om at visualisere ting, og så få dem til at ske i virkeligheden. So again, for us, for us, like what we care about. handler det om at visualisere ting, og så få dem til at ske i virkeligheden. Ikke? Få det til at ske, to make it happen. Ikke? Kan du få det til at ske? Can you make it happen? Jeg fik det til at ske. I made it happen. Right? So that's actually pretty easy when you think of it. Again, it's a long sentence, but if you just break it down in little pieces, or at least in 2 parts, it becomes a lot easier. And then you have the last one on this list. Livet er for kort til at spille skuespil. Livet er for kort til at spille skuespil. So again, we have both. Livet er for kort, and life is too short. Yes, that's what we say. For kort, too short. For lang, too long. For høj, too loud. And so on. Ikke? For is the one that shows that it's too much. For kort, too short. Til at spille skuespil. Right? Exactly. For kort til at spille skuespil. So we have them both, but that is not a mistake. What I want to say, excuse me, what I want to say towards the end is that as a learner, you want to be careful, because very often what happens when you're learning a language, and that of course includes Danish, is that you come across a pair of words, like in this case for and till. And then after some time, you notice that sometimes it's like in English, like for, okay, it's the same. But then other times it's the opposite. And then, till and for, it's like they traded places or something. So sometimes as a learner, you can get sort of like stuck thinking that it's either one or the other. But here's the thing, sometimes it's not till, it's not for. It's neither one. It's not any of them, okay? Could be something else. I've heard this from students before, like they say that, okay, so it's till, but I thought it was for, because they get so stuck on that, like headache. And I understand it can be annoying when you get like the idea that it must be one or the other, but sometimes it's not, right? The language is bigger than 2 words, obviously. And for that reason, I would also recommend that you check out the videos that I made about for and till individually, right? Like I made one with all the examples I could think of regarding te, and the other one about for, right? Each one has, I think, about 30 different examples. Now, the reason why I made this one today was so that you could kind of see them together, right? Without watching a super, super long video. This one was a little bit faster, and like I kind of went through it a little bit faster, so you could compare them in a way that's, how can I say, more comprehensible. Right? But just always remember that Danish doesn't have to make sense, like relative to English. Sometimes it's similar, other times it's totally different. Right? Sometimes it's easy, and other times it's counterintuitive. Right? Like you might be expecting something else, and it just is what it is. Right? So for and till. Easier than you think, but it'll still take a little bit of time to master, and that's okay. Eh? You don't have to master it so fast. Before I say anything else, let me just say one more thing, and that is, don't get frustrated. Like I think it's easy again to fall into this trap of like saying you have to sit down and then understand it in like one day. You know, like it's a mathematical equation, and then it just makes sense. With languages, you know, you have many different ways that a preposition can be used, and therefore it will just take time, you know. Like that's just how it is, and that's totally fine, and you don't need to worry about that. So yeah, okay, let's see. I think that was it for for this pair at least. So just as a reminder, you know, in general, danishmastery.com, you know what, let me just put it in here. Right. So danishmastery.com is a bit too far zoomed in. Can I make this smaller? Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller. All right, cool. So on the website, you can of course get more, right? All the videos that you know from YouTube and even more. I think it's close to 630 videos now, but they are also divided by levels. So don't worry. Can be a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's divided by levels, so because you know how good you are, how much you know, and what you don't know, you can pick the place that's best for you. Plus there's a lot of bonuses. PDF file, let me move over here. PDF files, and you can be in the WhatsApp group and ask me questions, and there are some exercises, and there are some ebooks, there's some audio files, there's some grammar breakdowns. There's just a lot of stuff that you don't get on YouTube, right? So it is the more complete experience, which I think is only fitting, you know, since I call it Danish Mastery. Yeah, it should be more than just videos. That's how I personally feel, at least. So go check it out, Danish Mastery. It's a lifetime access, by the way. You pay once and then you have it forever. I don't really like the whole subscription thing, and I think many people, they don't really like it either. This is for life, okay? You pay once and you have the videos and all the bonuses forever. That also means all future videos, right? So like right now there might be 630 videos, but you know, a year from now, who knows how many videos you'll find here. Right? But you already paid, so you don't have to worry about inflation or anything later on. So that's a pretty good deal, I would say. That's a good deal. Okay, cool. I think that's enough about the website. Let me just take a quick look here and see what's going on in the live chat. Okay, we got Murad Guglo saying, hver gang bliver jeg klogere. Mange tak for din indsats. Jamen, tak for det, man. Det er dejligt. Oh, by the way, it's hver gang, because gange, that is plural. But yeah, I get it. Hver gang bliver jeg klogere. Nice. Then we have, I'm going to mispronounce this name. Okay. Jovan Karadosalvich, something like that. Mange tak. Ja, selv tak, det er dejligt. And as always, we have Andreas Bøtker saying, varme hilsen til jer alle, nyt dagen i skyggen. Tak for i dag, Thomas. Super. And by the way, it's varme hilsner to make it plural. And then it's nyd dagen, no T. Yeah, I'm a teacher. I gotta correct these messages. I cannot help myself. Yeah. Alright guys, thank you so much. Like I said, check out the website. There's a lot of good stuff. The videos on YouTube, that's basically just a preview. The website, that's where you get the full experience. So, we got one more. I'm about to sign off. One more message. Thank you. Greetings from Liverpool. That's awesome. Bridgie8. Yeah, I guess the numbers are designated by YouTube. That's not anything you guys pick for yourself. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you soon. Take care.